It is great to have you with us on another edition of Bullseye. I'm Jim Louk. Derek Sharp is traveling with women's basketball this week. Caylee, Cottrell, Joey Johnston with us as always. Big win over UTSA last week. Big game on the road at Navy coming up. Caylee, a dominant performance in that game last week against UTSA. Byram was on his game.
I mean, when you look at all aspects of the game, it was so impressive. I talked to Byram after the game and was like, when you look at over 450 yards of total offense, when you look at how the defense started this game with 2 touchdowns, and even Nico, who I feel like we haven't even talked enough about with his 51-yarder, it's just like, how can you just operate in a sense that's so efficient on all levels of the game? And he was like, what he told me is that is just Bulls football. We played Bulls football, which I really love from his perspective, and that's their brand, that's their identity, and they operated on all aspects, which it was so fun to see. Later in the show, you've got a feature on SportsCenter on campus. You were in the middle of that. That was an electric environment. I mean, it was so much fun. There were so many fans that showed up that made signs, and signs were so creative, and it was just a fun environment. I talked to Matt Berry and Harry Lyles, and even Matt had so many amazing things to say about Coach Golesh and Byram, and he's like, we're going to see Byram on Sundays, and he was like, USF in general, I've been saying it for a while, is the hidden gem in the country, the football program. It's where you want to be, so super cool to talk to them and get their perspective on the excitement that's happening here. We don't get to enjoy that week for too long, though, because there's a big game coming up, a big trip. Navy in Annapolis. Joey, how do you read that one?
Always a tough team to prepare for, always, because of the way they play with the triple option and the creativity they show on offense. They're able to pass the ball effectively. As coaches always say, the job number one is knowing where the ball is. Sometimes you're not sure. So really, really tough game to prepare for. We're going up to Annapolis. It'll be a little chilly. It won't be frozen, but it'll be a little chilly. It might be a little windy. So a little bit of a different game to prepare for. A big, big, big game. There's no other way to say it. USF's being mentioned. They're back in the rankings, first of all. They're being mentioned in the college football playoff, but they've got to win this game, and there'll be a lot of eyes on this game in the Bulls.
We'll get Coach's perspective on that matchup later in the show. Defensive Player of the Week in the conference, Jarvis Lee, will join us as well. So a lot to look forward to as we get started. Stay with us. More Bullseye to come.
Down to Tampa Bay, where SC on campus is at the University of South Florida.
Look at this crowd. We always focus on the pit, but I'm going to brag on my friends from USF for a minute. Look at how big. It goes all the way back here. We're going all the way around to the rafters. USF, South Florida has come to play. They've got a big one in the American.
I think this team is angry. I think they're hungry, and they knew they let a game get away from them on the road at Memphis. And everything revolves around quarterback Byram Brown. Through the air, on the ground. By the way, blink and you'll miss an offensive play from South Florida. They want to get it off.
They love their head coach, Alex Golesh.
It's awesome to have football back in Tampa. This excitement level, you can feel it on campus, you can feel it with our students, and you can feel it around this entire city.
Week 11 of the college football season is here. McCown play fake on first down, and it's picked off on first down. And we are running with the Bulls on the first play of the game. Tommen Ward, pick 6.
Well, we said they were hungry, had a little chip on their shoulder.
How's that for coming out of the bye week?
Defensive coordinator Todd Orlando brought up Jarvis Lee was unsolicited to what he means to the defense.
Getting the carry off to the right side. Brought down on the play by Jalen Schuler, one of the talented linebackers, pairs up with Mac Harris. Crease to the left, spun out, and the Bulls corral him quick. Mac Harris. Harris averaging over 8.5 tackles a game, had 13 against Memphis, a career high. Henry kicks it out. USF there, and that is a loss of 9. McCown keeps it, and he is dropped. Ball is out. Scoop by Jarvis Lee. Oh my, Fred Gaskin. Jarvis Lee Jr. on the strip. Fred Gaskin, scoop, score. score 93 yards. The last FBS team with defensive TDs on the first 2 drives, it was Pitt in 2022 against Virginia.
After further review, the hearing on the field is upheld. Touchdown.
And now you're witnessing history. USF, the first American team in conference history to do so. Linebackers are coming, and they get it. And a flag.
Holding, number 23, offense. Penalties decline.
Brown's going to break a tackle. I mean, the guy's a thoroughbred. I mean, he's a Clydesdale with the football. That was 18 yards. There goes Davenport. Gain of 19. 3rd and short. Take that. Push, push. 65-yard touchdown drive, all on the ground. Chases him out after 36. Round to throw. Eyes upfield. Touchdown Bulls. From a hold to a touchdown. Keyshawn Singleton. There goes Davenport. Can he score? Davenport. Yep. They didn't touch the ball but once in the first quarter. They've already outgained UTSA with 215 total yards. Down to throw. McCown brought down. That's DJ Harris. 3rd and long. Sack. Number 3 on the night. That was Ira Singleton. Scanning the field. Let's get a lob one over the top. Has a receiver. What a play. Isaac got out of the backfield. And he's going deep on the throw here. Caught. Touchdown. South Florida is making a statement on the national stage tonight. That is Flowers for a loss. Blitz. Down. Jarvis Lee Jr. lost the 5th sack of the night. Penalty. Singleton. Not going to matter.
Wow. You always hear about identity. This is an offensive football team that knows exactly who they are.
Davenport, he didn't care about the first down. He wants that touchdown. An impressive performance tonight out of Alex Golesh and those high-flying Bulls.
3 more regular season games here. What do you want to see out of your guys? What should we expect from South Florida?
I want to play with the same relentless effort and a violent intent. That's all we've talked about for 10 days. Relentless effort, violent intent. I'm really proud of the way they came out, responded, and focused. Now, the ability in November to refocus and go continue to play meaningful football is going to be really, really powerful. So we'll see, but that'll be the challenge for us.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you. Go Bulls. Appreciate y'all.
Welcome back to Bullseye. Head coach Alex Golesh joins us. Coach, one of the great things I always thought about college football keeps bringing you back every game because you never know when you're going to see something really unusual on the football field. Last week, 2 defensive touchdowns right off the top. Offense doesn't get on the field till the end of the first quarter. I'd never seen a game start like that, had you?
Well, if you haven't, then you know I certainly wouldn't
have. You've been around as long as I have.
I don't know, Jim. No, it was so unusual. I mean, to the point where I asked Gio, our head strength coach, after the 3rd TV timeout, I said, man, you got to stretch these guys. We've talked so much about when the defense gets on the field first, if that's an extended long drive, to make sure that offensively our guys are staying loose, our guys are catching balls, we're taking handoffs, we're taking snaps. I think I've grown as a head coach in that regard where I'm highly sensitive to that, and it's come up over the years. I've never had it where it was legitimately 13 minutes of game time and really almost an hour of real time before the offense touched the field from when we came out. And as unusual as you can imagine, and then not just that, but for the offense to take the field and there's a 14-3 score, a score where you'd be like, hold on, there's no way they haven't been out here yet. So definitely really, really unique. I was as anxious as anybody when the offense took the field to make sure that we got going, and more than anything, it wasn't a 3 and out and get the defense back out there again. But the offense took advantage of it, really took advantage of the first 6 drives and went and scored on every single one of them, which essentially put the game away.
So you didn't win the time of possession again. However, pretty efficient offense when you did get the ball. I mean, how impressed were you with how just how cold-bloodedly efficient you were at getting the ball in the end zone when you did get it.
Yeah, I think more than anything else, we were playing with a violent intent, and that was the challenge. Coach Gordon, it hit home. Coach Gordon told the guys on Friday, man, when we play hard, we're a really good offense. When we play hard with a ton of detail, we're a really, really good offense. When we play hard with a ton of detail, with a violent intent, we're the best offense in the country. And I think certainly through the first half, the guys really played in that fashion where it was detailed. You talk about there was 2 third downs in the first half, and they were both 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2. And so when you're that efficient on 1st and 2nd down, and I think we averaged almost 10 yards a play, you can kind of do whatever you want to. But I think it was so violent and intentful through that first half that we could have been playing anybody in the country and it would have looked like that. And that's the mindset you're trying to replicate week in, week out, and we're going to certainly try to replicate it this week.
You look at those 2 defensive touchdowns, great play by Ward, great play by Gaskin, but the guy who doesn't show up in the box score was Jarvis Lee, who really created both of those plays. What a disruptive game he had. Conference Player of the Week on defense, very deservedly so.
Yeah, Jarv, we've talked about Jarv, I feel like, a lot. Jarv has done such a good job for us at that nickel spot. He's brought a level of physicality. And early in the year, we were playing so many 12 personnel teams that you didn't necessarily always want to have a nickel out there. And I had a hard time with saying, man, one of our best players is not out there. And so he played 30, 35 snaps early in the season. And then as we've gotten into conference play, he's just played more and more and more and been more disruptive every single week. Really intelligent player. The level of physicalness that he brings to the perimeter changes the game. It really does. When you talk about taking away virtually a quarter of the field on your own, I've been really, really proud of him, and he would be the first to tell you that he's got to continuously grow in the coverage part of his game, continue to learn the game. This will certainly test his discipline in every imaginable way this week, but for him, he's earned the right because of the way he's worked, the way he's prepared to have a game like that. And like you said, I think as impressive as anything, the very first play of the game, but then you look at that drive that extended out 16 plays, and for him to be able to come off the edge and not just get a sack, but be intentful enough to strip the ball as he's getting the sack, and have the same level of energy on play 1 as he did on play 16 of that drive. You feed off of it. And I said it at halftime to the team. I'm usually not like the most positive person ever at halftime, but I said, man, Jarv, the way you're playing is energizing this entire program right now. And he kind of smiled. Then I said, hey, don't poop in my hand after I told you that. So that we left it there. But he brings a really, really neat level of energy to our program, certainly defensively.
So you have the big win over UTSA, and one night later, you get a little help. Tulane beats Memphis to clarify the American standings. It's crazy. We still have games to go. You're being mentioned in the college football playoff bracket by people. I know you don't look at things like that, but how do you keep the focus going when there's a lot of craziness going on with fans and a lot of excitement going on with fans right now?
Yeah, it's there's a song that says I used to pray for times like these. It's certainly an exciting point in our program, which doesn't actually guarantee us anything, right. because you get to go play. You get to go play again, and to be honest with you, it's everything that we've talked about since literally the day I got here. Is just creating a program that's process driven, creating a culture in our locker room that's process driven, and not worrying about results, not worrying about what's happening at the end of this whole thing. Because if you look ahead for just half a second, anybody you play on any given week, and you see it around the country, is just good enough to beat everybody else. And so go right back to our process and continuing to demand and expect that we continue to get better. For a lot of guys, it's the first time that you're playing this late into the season, and every single play matters, every single drive matters. So just going right back to our process, going right back to trying to perfect it. going right back to challenging each other with ways that we can improve, not just players, coaches as well, and making sure that we're as detailed as imaginably possible, because if not, it'll come back to haunt us. And so I'm excited with the level of excitement around the program. You want people talking about your program in this way, and I'm just geeked to continue to get better every single day here leading up to Saturday.
With that in mind, earlier in the day, last Saturday, SportsCenter on campus. That was quite a display. Thursday, that's right, weekday game. See, this is your schedule that's goofing me up with Monday is Wednesday.
But a Saturday, yes.
Regardless, SportsCenter on campus, what a great experience, recruiting, fan interest, the program on display nationwide.
Yeah, I thought it was a really cool deal. It royally jacked up my process to come up to campus in the middle of the day, but I was so excited to walk out in front of the Union and see that many students and posters and the level of excitement. It was electric, and grateful for ESPN to do it, grateful to Matt and their whole Thursday night crew for doing it. A little bit of love to Columbia Restaurants, and they do so much for us, and the Gonsmark family has been incredible to me since I've been here. So just a really cool day, but it was only going to be cool if we were going to go out Thursday night and play high-level football again on national TV, and I thought it was just a really, really neat day. It was a really neat day for our university, neat day for our community. I thought it was really, really cool.
So Saturday we go to Navy. That's always a unique challenge. From a coach's standpoint, describe why this is such a big challenge, why this is a different game.
Yeah, I think the easy thing to say is, well, defensively it's so different. I think it's different as a whole. You're playing a team on all three sides of the ball that's incredibly disciplined, as they should be. Playing a team full of guys that are so disciplined in what they do. These guys are soldiers, and they are obviously have a ton of respect for who they are as young men, but you flip the film on and you're looking for guys to not play hard all the time. Well, it ain't gonna be this team. You're looking for guys to turn a play down, and it ain't gonna be these guys. And so just the level of physicality and detail that it takes to be prepared to play an outfit like this. And then the obvious difference is what you're seeing from an offense. And it's not just the triple option offense. It's the fact of how they do it. They changed coordinators a year ago offensively and blew up. And they truly are a top 10 offense in the country in terms of yards and the way that they throw the football and certainly the way that they run the football, but red zone efficiency and third down efficiency. And I mean, they're 10th in the country in yards per completion. So when they are throwing it, they're throwing it at an incredibly high rate. And you look, and it's not just a bunch of guys on the perimeter that are going to be blocking people. It's a bunch of guys on the perimeter that are going to win on a bunch of vertical play action shots that they've hit. And a quarterback that's playing as good as anybody in the entire country, both running the football and throwing it. So it tests not just your ability to be disciplined on defense, but it tests your ability to play through the echo of the whistle, because at half the time you have no idea where the ball is or where it's going. So just a different level of preparation from our staff, different level of preparation from our kids, the ability to truly pour into their process this week from a study standpoint. And so it's just different, on top of going on the road, on top of playing in a sold-out environment, on top of playing on national TV. There's so many things that are really, really cool about this day. And ultimately, it's a Saturday in the middle of November that means a lot on national TV. Man, what else do you want?
Fun stuff.
Another opportunity for Byram. He was remarkable last time, not only with the productivity, but also when you look at the fact he was on the field for about 11 minutes of time in that football game. Just remarkable what he accomplished in a short amount of time.
Yeah, Byram just continues to get better week in, week out. It's been such a blessing to be around him and watch his maturation and watch his growth. He just keeps challenging himself in so many ways. He keeps growing as a quarterback, keeps growing as a leader, keeps growing to perfect his process. He's been certainly a huge energy giver this season, in not just the way that he truly attacks his teammates, but the way he's playing, the level of physicality, the efficiency, and the challenge for him is just continue to get better and better every single week. But it's brought a really cool level of energy, a cool level of focus, certainly a really cool level of physicality that I think the entire program is fed off of.
One more thing about the trip to Navy, we're not going to the frozen tundra necessarily, but it will be cooler. It'll probably be windy. What about the conditions? And we've had a little cooler week here in Tampa to help prepare for that, but what effect do you think the conditions could have on this game?
Yeah, I think it'll be a chilly day in Annapolis, Maryland in November. That's what the forecast calls for. I don't think it'll be miserable. But I do think it'll be chilly. So we were outside today, and it was good for us to be able to get a day in the cold. I think our kids handled it extremely well. I think when you don't get that a lot, you're so used to the heat. I think we actually kind of enjoyed it. It was nice for them. But I don't see it being a factor. Once that ball kicks off, obviously from a special teams standpoint, from a throwing the football, the wind will always affect what you do and how you call a game. But in terms of affecting the outcome of the game, I don't see it affecting that part of it. There's just too much else that goes into it. But see me, I'm my normal fit.
Yeah.
Coach, thanks. Good luck at Navy this week.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Head coach Alex Golesh, stay with us. Defensive Player of the Week, Jarvis Lee, coming up later in the show. Back with more Bullseye after this.
What is your opinion on Coach Alex Golesh and what he has been able to build here in his time and how he leads this team?
Yeah, and 3 years in, I mean, he's got this place touching places they've never been. I mean, the fact that right now they're still in contention for the college football playoff, they're going to go to a bowl game 3 years in a row, and that's just places they've never been. And so for him to do this in such a short amount of time and have them as a playoff contender, I mean, that's a remarkable achievement.
Well, you know what he's always talked about is a team that is player-driven, player-led, and I think you've really seen that with this group. You've got a guy like Mac Harris who, was here 3 years before Coach Golesh, and he was able to tell me, hey, like, it is a completely different team, completely different atmosphere. It's very family-oriented, obviously. So to see that instilled in this team, the players will tell you, hey, we know we're supposed to be a family. The coaches will put us in a position to succeed, and that's why South Florida's having such a great season this year.
And what are your thoughts on the talent of Byram Brown and what characteristics of his game impress you?
Yeah, he's an NFL quarterback. I mean, he's a big kid. He's got a good arm. He's an athlete. He's that kind of player that's going to play on Sunday. He's going to finish the season strong. He's a highlight waiting to happen, and I'm not going to be surprised if he leads into a conference championship and then to play on NFL Sundays.
It's interesting because he is genuinely one of the most exciting players in college football. We personally, in our crew here Thursday night tonight, got to see him for the first time during the Boca Raton Bowl a couple of years ago against Syracuse, and that's when we were really excited about this South Florida team, what the potential could be, and you're sort of seeing the results of that come to fruition this year. But Byram is one of these players that he is going to deliver punishment back to you. He is a player that opposing defenses fear, not just because that he is a dual threat quarterback, but because he's going to inflict punishment back upon you.
USF really invests in athletics with the excitement on campus and the on-campus stadium being built. I mean, what do you have to say about the future and the growth of USF?
Look at this. I mean, look at this crowd. Look at the support. The stadium next door is going to be phenomenal. This is kind of a hidden gem. I've said this a lot that this program, this school, this team, it is a hidden gem in college football because of the proximity to talent and then the support that it's always going to get.
It's so bright. Having a campus on stadium, especially the one, we've seen all the renderings, and obviously they've broken ground. Having that on campus and the capacity, it's not too big, it's not too small, it's like the perfect amount. It's going to be massive, not just for ease of fans and students to be able to make it to a football game, but also just as continuing to bring this university up. And obviously I think the vision is really coming together where you've seen the alignment between the university and the athletic department on that as well.
Welcome back to Bullseye. We have the Conference Defensive Player of the Week with us, Jarvis Lee, number 0. Jarvis, thanks a lot for taking time for us. I want to start with that game against UTSA. I've never seen a game start with 2 defensive touchdowns back to back. You were a big part of both of them. Describe those 2 plays that led to those 2 scores for us.
I mean, we put an emphasis on starting the game fast, especially coming off a loss versus Memphis. Like, we wanted to start the game fast and put out there like this is going to be a violent game. So it came out fast, ready to play, ready to execute, and then I just wanted to make a play. Just my defense coordinator called my name, so it was ready for me to play a play, and I just did that, executed it.
You are such an influential player on this defense. I mean, for you, when I look at you play, you're so high energy, you're so physical, you just attack. What characteristics do you value as a player that you think reflects on the field?
Just, I don't back down for competition. No matter who we playing, no matter what team it is, no matter where we're playing at, like, no matter what is going on, like, I'm gonna always go out there and play my hardest and play for the guys next to me. It's like, playing with the defense, you gotta be violent, like, so I emphasize every day, like, I gotta be the best nickel, most violent nickel I can be to help my teammates.
You know, we're far enough into the season now where I'm used to you wearing number 0. I was still looking for 28 at the beginning of the year. What led to that change? Is 0 part of your personality a little bit?
I mean, it's a great number, I like, but really it started from Day-Day. Day-Day was here my freshman year. There's a guy I really looked up to, a guy that put me under his wing and just showed me the ropes of college football and really told me to just be patient and everything gonna play out how it should play out. So, I mean, I wear that number to represent him, but also represent myself, because like I want to build a tradition here where only nickels can wear number 0 on defense. So it's something I take pride in.
You know where else that we see that 0 is in the fans, your family. You are one of 10 siblings. You have a big support system that comes to games. They all wear 0. What is that support like for you?
It's just, I mean, it means everything to me, because growing up, like all my siblings, we were always around each other, so they wasn't able to come to games and weren't able to see me play and stuff like that. When they're able to come down and see me, it's like, it's amazing to look up and see them representing me, and just, with all the same name when they bat, it's like, it means a lot.
Well, I have a 2-part question for you. Talking about that transition, you gained 30 pounds since your time at USF. What was that transition like, first of all, because you've grown in many ways. So the first one, physically, talk to us about that.
It's just, I came in with a mindset to, like they said, like they're taking a chance on me, so I wanted to come in and basically be committed to the program, be committed to what it was going to take for me to get on the field. And then it's just like they had a great plan for me. I took pride in that plan. I put in my role to do what I have to do to help this program out. So it was just Coach Gio and the staff, like they had a great plan. They just executed everything. Everything played out perfect.
Well, part 2, you've grown into such a leadership role. When you first got here, you were a quiet guy, kind of kept to yourself, and now you are such a good leader on this defense. What allowed that to happen?
Just everybody trusted me. Like, throughout time, like I said, I didn't really talk. Like you said, I didn't really talk. Like, I really wasn't much of a player to say something when something needed to be said. But it's like, over time, like I felt more comfortable. And then when coaches trusted me and my players next to me trusted me, wanted me to say something also, it puts something on me to where like, okay, I can do this. Like, I don't have to be a player that just sit around, let something happen, or wait for a coach to say something. Like, you got a team that want to grow, be a player-led team. The players that making plays is on the field got to be them players, be the players that lead the team. So I just took on that role and embraced it. Like, I wasn't gonna hold back from it. Just took on a role and just want to do that, so the younger guys that see me coming up behind me can want to take on that same role and be the best leader they can be.
You're a solid coverage guy, but what really stands out is the blitzing. What goes through your mind when you get turned loose on a play and you know you're going after it?
Cause chaos. Like that's all it is. I know they sending me on the blitz. I smile, because I'm not finna go in at full speed. I got one job, to go back there and cause chaos. So it's like, that's what I'm gonna do. Every time my name is called for a blitz, to get in the backfield, I'm gonna go back and make a play. I emphasize that every time. If I make a play, then I'll try to make one, help my guys create one. But if my name be called, I'm going back there to make a play.
Hey, who's the toughest receiver to cover on the team in practice?
Toughest receiver? I play slot, so right now I'll give it to a young buck, Neptune.
Okay.
Neptune, he give me a little work in the slot sometimes. Like, we'll go back and forth, we'll compete at it. But he's one of them young guys he's gonna be great.
Love it.
Like, he always growing, he always excelling every day. He's gonna be great.
Well, we got to get a Navy preview out of you. This is a really unusual offense. Probably do some things you guys have not seen. I know you've been working prep all week to get ready for it. What do they show you on tape? What do you have to do on Saturday to win this game?
On tape, everybody know they're a disciplined team. Their team gonna go out there and run their little weird offense, go out there, but they're gonna execute their plays. They're gonna run the same thing over and over again and catch you sleeping when you're not being disciplined and have yourself locked in. So really, right now, we're just trying to lock ourselves in and doing our job, knowing our assignments, where to be at, knowing the right, fit the right gaps, like certain stuff like that, to where like the little details, everything gonna come down to the game. Everything is gonna come down to like it's 4th and 1. You're gonna be on your right guy and get your eyes back and go by somebody else. Like it's all about the little details when it comes to this game. And just right now on film, we're trying to like excel at them little details, so we don't make no mistakes.
I think it's also fitting that Florida had a little cold front this week, so you can kind of practice in the cold and prepare for the temperature. What are you doing in that sense? I think there will be heaters on the sideline. Is there anything you can do to prepare for conditions like that?
I mean, you could. I mean, but in the day, I feel like me personally, like I done played in cold games before, so it's just like a mindset. Like if you're gonna let the cold affect you, then I don't think you should be playing football, because at the end of the day, like you're gonna play when it's hot, when it's raining, when it's snowing, when it's cold. Like you gotta play football regardless. So, and then if you don't go to the next level, you can play anywhere. So you just I don't really care about the weather. I don't worry about making plays or about the team you're facing right now.
Coach talks a lot about this team playing meaningful football in November. I mean, this isn't 5-5 and man, I hope we get to a bowl game. There's big opportunities out there. What does that feel like every week?
I mean, it feels amazing. Like we somewhere that we always wanted to be since we've been working out during the summer training, stuff like that. Like something like a lot of guys have big dreams of playing in the college football playoffs, playing on the big stage in front of millions of viewers on TV, all this stuff like that. Like it's dreams to be on that big stage. So it's like it gives you something to work towards. Not even saying that if he wasn't in this position, we wouldn't be working, but I'm saying like the harder it gets, like later in the year, the more important everything is. Like every little thing matters, no matter what it is. So it's just amazing to be a team that's on a level that we is now, where other people can look in on us and like, what is South Florida doing to be on this high level?
All right, Jarvis, we wish you good luck at Navy. Congratulations on Conference Defensive Player of the Week, and thanks for taking time for us today.
Thanks, Jarvis.
Thank you.
Number 0, Jarvis Lee. Stay with us, more to come. We're back to wrap things up on this week's edition of Bullseye after this. What a great story, Jarvis Lee. I don't know if I've ever seen a player develop that quickly. We'll say it's quickly. He'll tell us it was years of hard work, but yeah. Jarvis has really been something.
Yeah, and one of my favorite things about him, I mean, Coach has said that when he first got here, he had a little trouble trying to get him to open up, come out of his shell, and now he said he's one of his favorite people in this building. So cool to see how he's grown on and off the field for sure. Making a lot of big plays as well. Well, it's off to the state of Maryland as the Bulls will face Navy. Byram Brown has been terrific. This is another big test, Joey.
Yeah, big test, and obviously a big game for the Bulls, but for Byram, there'll be a lot of eyes on him. People are aware of how good of a player he is, but his stats are getting a little overwhelming at this point. I mean, some people are putting him on their Heisman Trophy lists. If he has a great game and a big win, why shouldn't he be on a Heisman list? So I know Coach and Byram won't really emphasize the individual aspect of that, but it's a chance for the Bulls and Byram Brown to really get on a high level nationally and get some attention.
I thought Coach had some interesting comments on the Navy offense. Looks like their number 1 quarterback is going to be a go for this game. They present a lot of challenges.
Oh, they really do. And as Coach said, you know, you don't know where the ball is. You're looking around, you can't find it. It's all about discipline and eye discipline and staying in your gaps. That's a challenge of every defense that goes up against Navy, and it won't be any different for the Bulls. So a meaningful game in November, a chance for the Bulls to really show what they're made out of. And man, recently they've been made out of a lot of special parts. It's been fun to watch, and here's a chance to take this magic ride 1 week further.
Caylee, Joey, thank you for making this easy for me. I appreciate both of you.
You got a little experience, Jim. It wasn't that bad.
Derek is back next week, and we look forward to joining you again soon on Bullseye.